amongst politicians and others who presumably are being advised. Certainly Downing Street must be being advised by the Queen's private secretary, Sir Edward Young, about what is happening there. And I think the fact that they are saying and they are speaking in the way that they are with the language that they have chosen to use, that also tells us something, that concern is justified at the moment.
As we understand it, Nick, not everyone has arrived, as you were suggesting there. There are some still on their way. But one imagines that they'd be there fairly soon, having been alerted several hours ago now, well, a couple of hours ago, 3 hours ago. We'll see. We'll see if we can spot some members of the family who've not made it so far arriving. While we do that, let's bring in Carolyn Harris, who's a royal historian and author from Toronto. Carolyn, thank you for waiting to talk to us. What are your reflections today as we talk in these terms and terms of concern about the Queen's health?
Well, there's a great deal of concern regarding the Queen's health, not just in the United Kingdom, but in the wider Commonwealth, as the Queen has taken her role as head of the Commonwealth extremely seriously and has become the most well-traveled monarch in history. So she's a familiar figure in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the various Caribbean and South Pacific realms, and the wider family of Commonwealth republics as well. So that transition from a British Empire and dominions, wealth of equal nations, has very much unfolded over the Queen's lifetime. So she's a figure of global significance and not simply of a British significance.
We're just looking at images, Carolyn, of the Queen just a couple of days ago, greeting the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, and inviting her to form a government. The Queen smiling, looking rather frail, it must be said, but smiling and looking very engaged. And just reflecting what you were saying there about the commitment, not just, of course, to the UK, but to the wider Commonwealth family. This has been something that the Queen has been fully engaged with since she came to the throne, really. This has been a 70-year project.
Yes, and we see the legacy of King George VI. He was the first monarch to hold the title as head of the Commonwealth, and the future Queen Elizabeth II made her first overseas visit with her parents and younger sister, Princess Margaret, to South Africa in 1947. So the Queen has been traveling and has been this significant figure in the wider world for a very long time, since the age of 21. And she's attended almost all of the Commonwealth heads of government meetings, most significantly in 2018 when the Commonwealth leaders agreed that it would be Prince Charles who would be the next head of the Commonwealth, because whereas when one reign comes to an end, the next one automatically begins, the role of head of the Commonwealth that had to be agreed upon by the Commonwealth leaders. And it really shows the respect for the Queen that her wishes concerning the future of the Commonwealth were very clearly taken into consideration regarding how the succession to the head of the Commonwealth will unfold.
I'm just wondering at this point as well, Caroline, just in terms of the international perspective, beyond the Commonwealth, if you like, of the Queen's status, the Queen's contribution, the Queen's presence on the global stage, because, as you rightly say, it's not just a British experience. It's not just a very big Commonwealth experience. It's a global experience as well. And just help us with that notion and maybe how that perception of the monarch has changed as well.
Yes, we've seen the Queen as one of the most recognizable figures in the world, eager to be invited to meet with the Queen. So we see Commonwealth heads of government meetings, all the leaders